You can also take little tiny squares and round them on there. So I'm going to do that on the side. Round out the side so it doesn't look like it's been cut. And then I'm going to take little teeny tiny balls. Little teeny tiny. That's too big. Cut that in half. And then I'm going to put them on. No, it's still too big. Put them on the corners and flatten them out. And then put an X on each one. Makes it look like little screws holding down a metal plate. See? Well, I guess you can't see. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this because my camera is not that great, but ignore my dog. She is barking a lot. Here you can see that I added a layer along the top, and then I put in just a bunch of different little things. If you order your clock pieces, and you can get like an ounce. I found the best price I found was on Etsy. I found, I think, 1 ounce for $17 or 2.5 ounces for $34. And I'm going to order the 2.5 ounce one. Of course, this is gold on gold, so I don't know how well you can see this. But anyways, they include little tiny screws that if you just have enough, you can use those. And I think those look really awesome. Let me see, does this one have any? It does, but you can't hardly see it. Oh well. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and just continue decorating. Oh, I wanted to show you texture. So texture is also really important because when you think about it, most metals have different pieces of texture, or different textures to them. So this is one thing I use to texture. It's something, I don't know what it is, part of a clock piece, but I use it and I go along, oops, a lot of my straps. It just divots them. I usually texture my main heart or my main piece before I start laying on stuff, but I forgot. But if you take your X-Acto knife and you just roll it on your clay, it gives it a really cool texture. And let me see if I have an example that you can see. Oh, the top part of this heart right here, I textured. Oh, and over here I textured with my X-Acto knife. Also, you can use, I use the top of my stylus. Maybe it was this one, and I kind of made it look like it's been hammered metal by just, you know, dipping it down in there. Also, you can use your X-Acto knife and make X's, give it a patterned look, or you can use a paintbrush. Well, that's not stiff enough. Use a stiff paintbrush. This one's kind of stiff because it still has paint in it. And then you just like drag it across your paint or your polymer clay. Oh, this one I did. I don't think you can see it, again, because of my camera and the lighting, but I drag it across the silver part, and it makes it look like brushed metal. So it's really cool. I like it a lot. I promise one day I'm going to get a better lighting setup to where you can see my stuff better. Oh, also, if you're doing clothing, steampunk inspired, you know, polymer clay pieces, you can, you know, around your corners or anywhere it would crease, you just take your blade and you go, you know, back and forth. I made stitch marks by just poking in my X-Acto knife. Instead of doing like little nail holes, I did little stitch marks. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish decorating this. Once you've fully decorated your piece, and on this one you'll see that I've added a couple of more clock pieces, It's time to add the secret ingredient. I am using mineral eyeshadows that I bought off of Etsy for myself, but you can also just use, or for myself to wear, but you can use mica powders that you can buy. Those would probably end up being a little bit cheaper, but these I have on hand, so I'm going to use them up. These are my favorites. I have one more jar, but I'm not sure what I did with them, or with it. Anyways, they're called Molten Metals. Again, they're from a seller on Etsy. I'll post her information. But using micas and using mineral eyeshadows allows you to give your piece so much more depth. You know what? Do it on a piece of paper, because you'll get it all over your workspace. And then you'll be sad whenever you're working with white clay and it suddenly turns out to be gold. So I use gold. I use this. What is this? This is like a plum silvery gold, or plum gold color. Depending upon how you look at it in the light is how it shows up. I use that over my copper pieces. And it doesn't completely cover the copper, but it definitely, to me, looks better. Again, it just gives it, you know, it's your difference between an amateur piece and a piece that looks like somebody knows what they're doing. So I cover, you know, most of my raised pieces, and I also cover my sections. Now this color is a silver. I think it's called gunmetal. It was just a sample that I got, so a little tiny bag that I got for free with my purchase, and I take that over my silver pieces and highlight them. Again, I don't know even if you can see this, but it definitely makes everything shinier. I also take, usually over my silver pieces, I take some black charcoal eyeshadow that I mixed some of my silver with, and I go over the edges. More dimension, more shadow. Here is the baked heart. It's completely hardened. And now I'm going to age it a little bit and do a little bit more dimension by using just some black acrylic paint and water. And you just want to paint over everything. Don't get it too watery or it won't stick. You just paint over it, getting all the little creases and crevices. And then I'm taking just a baby wipe and wiping over it, and it'll still leave it in the creases. Went ahead and painted the heart. It's all painted. I also painted the back of it. Makes it look more finished. I'm using triple thick. Okay, gonna just glob it on. So here is the finished heart charm. I actually think that I prefer Sculpey glaze as opposed to the triple thick on this, because the triple thick is too thick. But it's completely done. It's ready to hang chains on and make a necklace out of. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to post them. I'll do my best to answer.